Bethrezen is dying. A decade ago, the first great wars had spread blood throughout the lands. The mountain clans were slaughtered. Half of their realm fled behind their great runic portal. The others driven mad out of fear of the Ragnarok. For in their dreams, they saw their own dark fate. The Empire was governed by a feeble monarch. He mourned the loss of his beloved queen and heir. The children of the Empire sing death songs. An empire without an heir could only portend chaos.
Hello and welcome to Let's Play the LP'ed 2. I assume most of the people watching this Let's Play will not know this game, so I ought to start by explaining what the game is. The game is a round-based strategy mixed with RPG, and my best explanation to this game would be saying it's very much like Heroes of Might and Magic. We have four races: the humans, or the Empire, the undead, which is undead hordes, the mountain clans, which are like dwarves, the Legion of the Damned, which are pretty much the demons. I assume that the four campaigns can be played in any order and are pretty much four viewpoints of the same story, which is why I'm starting with the Legion of the Damned, while at the same time I'm going to do the mountain clans, but in a German Let's Play. So we are starting with these guys. Then we choose the difficulty, which I'm going to play on hard. Maybe later turn it on to average, because I don't know how difficult the game is. Then we can choose from three classes, either the warrior, who gets 15% more regeneration each day, and the magic research is limited to the 4th level. The mage lord, who can use the spell 2 times a day, I will explain that later, and only uses half of the cost for a spell. Also, he can go to the 5th level for spells, not the 4th. And the guild master, who has more options with the thief, and towns cost 50% less to grow. Really, the warrior lord is the best. This one would be the second best, and that's just pointless. So we are choosing the warrior lord. And now they will talk, so I don't have to. Thank God. Start
More
talking.
than a decade has passed since the first great wars ended. When infernal beasts and demons poured forth from the ground, the human empire did their best to resist the unholy onslaught. Alas, the beloved queen was killed, and Uther, the sole heir, disappeared from the realm. The combined forces of the Empire and mountain clans, with the retrieved runic wisdom, sealed the infernal rift before the accursed one could arise. The menace posed by the undead hordes came to an end with the beheading of the dwarven High King Sturmir. Mortis's vengeance accomplished, her minions fell lifelessly to the ground. Their languid voices echoed with no answer. Bards feared to weave tales of the suffering brought by the first great wars. Stories of these terrible events traveled only on witches' wings.
So that was pretty much the setup plot to the whole plot of the game, but it doesn't really explain it very well, so in the description under the video I will explain it a bit better.
Who carefully planned the assaults. The legions of the damned needed no such wisdom. They do not know pain as humans do. A beast who has suffered millennia of pain pays no mind to the slash of a mere sword. When Bethrezen was imprisoned by the mountain clans a decade ago, the legions feared their doom was near. Left without the protection of a leader, they scattered, fleeing terrible reprisals and brutal inquisitions. The legions awaited the waning of the runic seal's power. the seal that would hold Bethrezen captive for a decade. A decade passed. The legions looked on as a dwarf crossed the land towards Bethrezen's mountain dungeon. This was no ordinary dwarf. He was the High King's son, Gimner Cloudkeeper, sent to enact rites that would strengthen the runic bonds that imprisoned Bethrezen. There were rumors that the mountain clans had discovered powers that this time would seal the gate for a century. If Gimner were to be killed before the ritual could be performed, the legions could liberate their god.
So yeah, pretty much as I just explained, we have to kill the son of the High King to stop him from rebuilding the magic gate thing on our leader. And I forget what my name was. Great. What demons here? Leave these lands before we rush here. These are mountain clan territories. Leave now while you still can. Master, shall we kill the dwarf messenger before he warns others of our presence? He must be stopped. And then he runs away, so I guess not. Yeah, I think we should kill him, because that might otherwise cause problems. Anyway, to explain the game. This is our capital, Zolixa, I don't know how to pronounce that. We can build buildings here, of course. So we don't have, that's our money, and that's how much money a building would cost, so we don't have enough money. And this is our hero, who is level 1, because the game just started. And this normally always has a unit picture and a unit description and abilities. Also other stuff such as damage, chance to hit, and yeah. He has a leadership of 3, which means we can have up to 3 people with us. Like that. So then there are a number of units. We have this guy who is pretty much a normal melee unit. This guy who is a gargoyle, each faction has one special unit, that would be this one. As a normal range unit, and I'm not sure how that one fits in. That's just another special unit, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to pick one melee guy and one range person, and then I guess another range one, because we have a hero, so that's pretty much like 2 melee guys. And we can't really build anything, and here we would research magic, but we can't because we don't have a mage tower yet. So all we can do is click on our leader and move around to kill stuff. That's pretty much what you do in the Heroes of Might and Magic game, or in this case, this Highfather game. And they just said we are supposed to catch up with this guy, so I guess we should kill him. And then we run into that guy. Great. So yeah, this is the combat screen. It's turn-based, based on when the unit can move. We can always attack the unit it's adjacent to, so he can attack this guy and this guy. This guy could attack all 3 in the first line, unless you are range, in which case they can hit anyone on the screen. And so it's best normally to kill the more stronger guys first, and then try to kill the ones who don't do as much damage. I guess common logic. Yeah, those guys can hit all on the enemy side, so it doesn't matter who I press on, they just click all. Who I click on, they just hit all of them. And those are just normal humans. And yeah, a unit can miss, that's pretty much a chance to hit. Most units have a chance to hit of 80, so they just have a low chance to miss, but sometimes too. Though some special units have a higher or lower chance to hit. And when we win combat, our people get experience. It always is divided on how many people you have, so if I had only one person, he would get all the experience, so he would get something like 36 experience instead of each of them getting 9. And you can see here how much they need to level up, so it still takes a while. And then that's pretty much the first turn. Then I press on this to end the turn, in which case the AI would go, though we haven't met an AI yet, so nothing much happens other than this guy telling us we will die. or that we will die if we don't restore. I guess that's pretty much the same thing, considering we are not restoring. And we are still supposed to kill this guy, so we are going to do that. I hope. Would suck if I die now, but then again, I don't expect to die in the first fight. And yeah, those are also ranged units, but they only hit one enemy, so they do a lot more damage than mine, and mine is going to die very soon. Most likely after this strike. Like that. We can revive our unit, so it's not that bad when they die. But when the leader dies, that's pretty bad, because the unit can only move about 10% of its normal movement points without a leader. And it loses all its special abilities, so he shouldn't die. Or if he dies, we should have something to revive him. We have killed the messenger master. If we can get rid of the High King's son before he sees the Infernal Gate, Bethrezen will be freed. I don't know how that works. I thought you're just trying to stop him from being imprisoned. Anyway, now we have money to build a building, in which case we most likely should build the one that we upgrade first, which is this guy. We can either go this way or that way. I have to look up what she can do. This one just does more damage than the normal version we have right now, and this one, oh yeah, they can transform the enemy, so I'm going to pick that one just to show it, because I don't think I will choose it in higher level missions. And yeah, then we end the turn again, and then we wait. I always thought the loading thing, the clock thing is pretty cool, because it spins. Yay. As one might have noticed by now, the ground advances each turn. That happens from every city. Right now we only have this one, so it actually has an impact on the game, because these places are important. We either get mana stones from them, these ones, or any of them, but these are the ones we have right now, or money if we find a mine, like right here. But you only get that if your ground is on, if that's your ground, kind of. So we can not revive at the moment, because to revive units we need this building, so we ought to build that. And I think we have to wait a turn because we don't have enough money, so I can just do nothing at the moment, I guess. Actually, I could move there and kill these guys. Oh yeah, great. So yeah, now we lost that guy again, and I have no idea why they have an archer standing in the melee position, but I guess he just wanted to. And yeah, I guess now we have to go back and revive 2 people, because now we lost both of them. Once the turn finally ends. And here where the map doesn't continue, that's pretty much because the map ends right here. The first maps are not that big. The later ones I assume are going to be bigger. I really haven't played this campaign before, so I don't really know that much about it. It's always best to kill everyone on the map to get the most experience, at least till your person reaches a level cap of the mission. At least I assume there's going to be one. I don't remember if there was or not. So killing people is more important than doing the main quest in most cases. Some quests are based on time, so you have to do the main quest before time runs out, but I think it warns you in that case, so I'm not too sure. Yeah, 2 XP, that really doesn't do much. But at least we got a potion of protections. Yeah, potions, we can use them by dragging them on things, like I did before to revive that one guy. These ones here, 100 points, these ones do 15% less damage on the unit. So the unit takes less damage and doesn't do less damage. That would be pointless. As you can see, the snow over here pretty much already shows me that the AI is over there. That's snow from the mountain clans, because in this mission we are fighting the mountain clans, as we just did before. While our guys have the demon land, so everything is much more fiery and I guess demonish, if that's a word. Huh. Now that is interesting. Is demonish a word? I doubt it. Anyway, we have to kill more goblins. I have no idea why they're always standing around here and have nothing better to do than stand around and shoot my guy. This time he didn't die. Yeah, I'm going to try the archer. Try to kill the archers just to make sure they don't shoot him, because it's annoying to keep reviving him. As one might have noticed, they don't get experience when they are dead. So if you lose your leader when it was an important fight, he doesn't get any experience, which is also really annoying. We have a small potion of healing, which we might use on that guy if we find a fight. We can also use potions in the fight when we drag it like that. So instead of our leader attacking or doing whatever he would do in that turn, he can use a potion on an ally or himself. In those cases it would be kind of pointless, because normally the attack is going to do more damage than the 50 healing points that potion would do. The dim-witted dwarves seem to unaware of our presence, master. We should take advantage of the situation. Yeah, I know, but I'm busy killing goblins. That's far more important. You fool. And yeah, we can also press on this to go to the city, which is a lot better than what I was doing before, because sometimes you accidentally move your army to the city instead of going into the city, which is really annoying. And yeah, I was just building the next and only building I could build, so but didn't really show that. That guy looks odd. And yeah, maybe I should explain this screen. It just says the income. I don't know why I was trying to explain that. We pick up more stuff, and that's a potion I used before. As one might have noticed, it revives people, which is kinda useful. Though it only revives them with 1 HP, so it's not that great. Then this is a mage tower. Then we can research magic, like I mentioned before. Right now we can only do the first and second level of magic. Later we can go up to the 4th. Like I said, we can only do the 5th if we play a mage, which I'm not going to do because it's pointless. And yeah, so we can either summon stuff, we can inflict damage, we can reduce the damage inflicted by enemies, and we can reduce the initiative. That's at least for the 2nd level. I think that normally the summon one is the most useful, but it costs a lot to research them because we are not a mage, so I'm not going to be able to use it today. I mean this turn, because it always says the turn is a day, so I don't know how that works out. Because my people fight once a day, that's a lot. They would most likely get really annoyed of that. See, day 10. But now I can use it, just to show it. That's a summon spell, so it just summons a unit for 1 turn, like 1 day. And I can use it on these guys just to show it. Ouch. Yeah, that is a bit better creep unit. It already has poison attack, so that's why I'm just going to weaken him. It's normally best to not kill your enemies with summon units and instead just weaken them, because if you kill them you don't get XP, and it's pretty stupid to not get XP for them. So instead I'm just weakening him and then letting my guy be killed, and then accidentally leveling up my ally, I mean my enemy. It wasn't that great. So now we can attack him and pretty much instant kill him because he has no HP left. That wasn't nice. And yeah, as he leveled up, but he doesn't level up nearly as much as our characters do, because ours become new characters when they level up, and theirs just get a small bonus, a small boon to attack and defense and that kind of stuff. So it wasn't that bad that he leveled up. I think he might actually give us more XP now, but I'm not sure. Never tested that, if we get more XP for a level 2 unit than a level 1 unit. So that would make sense, I guess. So yeah, now I use that to heal 50, so we can attack that and without him dying, hopefully. Just 3 archers, I don't know what they're doing in here. And yeah, like always, they're going to kill him. That is why I don't like using ranged units, at least low level ranged unit, because they just die all the time. It's a pain to get them to level up. So when they do, they get more useful. Which I guess just means they are balanced, but I don't like balanced stuff when it annoys me. So we revive him and continue on our quest to kill goblins, I guess. Instead of killing the enemy we should kill. Yeah, it's kinda difficult to talk for this game all the time, because there isn't that much going on screen. Most of all, like right now, where everything was just black screen. Yeah, we have squirrels, but our hero cannot use them. It needs an ability to use them, but we don't have the ability. So I guess our bad luck. See, he already has 77 XP and those have like 27 and 35, so it's because they keep dying. I always tell them not to die and they do it anyway. They just like dying so much. I always wonder why those guys don't just run away. What would you do if a giant demon army was moving at you? Would you try to fight them like a man, or would you run away? Most likely run away, but I guess those guys just like fighting so much. For some weird reason. Yay. Do your turn already. Thanks. More enemies. I think I might try to heal him. Whatever. I'm gonna heal him even if it's a bit of a waste, because he hasn't lost 100 life points yet. But I think it's more useful than getting him killed again, or almost killed again. And those are peasants, yay. They are really weak, so I don't really even care to attack them with my melee guys. I just let my ranged guys kill him. Like that. Oh, he didn't die. He had 1 life point left. I assume that 1 life point left isn't very much. I mean, couldn't he just have died? Anyway, he leveled up, as I said before. Now he's a completely new unit. Looks different, has new animations and that kind of stuff. It also has a lot more damage and a lot more XP. I mean, HP. It's a lot better than XP. Yay. Now we can attack the city and take the city, and then we can revive our guys and heal them right there instead of going back to the capital each time. And now I'm just gonna kill the peasant, even though I just said I won't waste my attack on him. And yeah, I have no idea why there are so many peasants trying to kill demons. You would assume them to run away, like I just said, but I guess they like fighting. We must hurry, master. The lawmaster must not seal the gate. We must free Bethrezen, whatever his name is. Yeah, like I said, we can hear our units here right now. But we can't build any buildings in this city. Only the capital can build cities, which kind of makes sense. And I'm going to do a cut. So yeah, that was a cut, and now I'm back. Where was I? Yes, we can only build in the capital, not in the other places. But we can revive in any place as long as we have this building. And we can make the cities bigger, which only adds the fact that we have better hit point regeneration in there. We have better defense, and we can have more units in it. Because right now we only had 1 unit in it, 1 unit space, and now we can have 2 in it. So I'm just going to put this one in there in case the enemy attacks, so I don't think he will too much use. And then we end the turn one more. The region is infested with goblins, masters. No joke, man. We are not certain what creatures could We are not certain what wild creatures could accompany these pests. We must be cautious in any case. I can tell you, ogres and orcs and that kind of stuff. I would assume he knows more about this wood than I do, but I guess he doesn't. He just doesn't know what goblins normally do, like where goblins are and what they fight with. Also, why are they afraid of goblins? They are demons. I never heard of demons being beaten by goblins. Begone, beasts. Evil creatures such as you are not allowed beyond this point. Leave or perish. Can't we just play a card game and then you leave? Whatever. Yes, this unit supports the ally, making them do more damage. So that wasn't really that smart of him, because I think this guy might... Okay, he doesn't die because I miss. But he would normally die before he even gets to do much. So in this case there isn't much strategy to the fight. We just hit the only guy we can hit and hope we don't miss all the time. And our guy did not die for once. And now he defends. That's great. That's how he's going to beat us, by defending. Now we'll level it up. And I don't think we missed anything, so we can just keep going this direction. I'm trying to figure out if... Yeah, I cannot. I can't move the screen while it's loading, which is kinda annoying. Also, this one keeps closing every time I restart the game, which is kind of annoying too. Yeah, whatever. Now I can show what these guys can do if they ever get to draw before this fight is over, and if my guy doesn't miss all the time. So yeah, she can do this. She can transform enemies into imps, which in this case doesn't do much, because I don't think imps are much weaker than normal ones. In fact, they do more damage. They have the same chance to hit, they have the same stuff. They're pretty much more stronger. So I just made my enemies better than they were before. That is skill pure. And my guy missed again. He has an 80% chance to hit and he misses all the time, and she can't do anything. Yeah, she can't do anything either. And that's why they're not so useful, but I just like to show them. And he missed again. I think I missed 3 times in this fight out of 5 or 6 attacks. Yay. If you miss again, I will hit you. Well, he didn't miss for once. Now all of them, but the hero is level 2. The hero normally takes some of the longest time, because I guess he takes the most XP. I never know what to say. The loading screens, they just are not that great. I mean, this thing is great when it spins around, but there doesn't much happen. Not much happening. So yeah, if he doesn't die this time, then he will level up. And I hope he doesn't die, because that would be stupid. I don't even know how he dies in a fight against imps and goblins and stuff. Now that we are rid of those guys, he should level up. I think. Exactly. Now he's level 2. It doesn't change that much with him, not like these guys, but he does get a bit more powerful. Oh, a dragon. Kind of. An undead dragon. That's one of the undead units, so I guess he also just at random places.